This cabin costs at least $11,000 for a round-trip flight from New York to Paris. These first-class seats were renovated as part of a $550 million investment to upgrade Air France's existing planes and lounges. They're part of a massive race by airlines across the world to build the most exclusive and high-end cabins for passengers willing to pay top dollar.
What's been this kind of incredible tailwind for the aviation industry is the amount of money that regular leisure passengers are willing to spend on their products.
Especially because business travel has not returned to pre-COVID levels, airlines are trying to make up for the gap by winning over wealthy vacationers. But competing for this business comes with some big risks. Chasing rich customers means sacrificing space that could be filled by many more economy passengers. And since the wait lists for new planes and components stretch years, airlines have to commit to a seat layout far in advance and invest hundreds of millions of dollars, all at a time of increasing economic uncertainty.
The prevailing wisdom is that economy seats are there to subsidize the cost of flying. Premier seats and premium seats are there to actually make money.
First-class cabins are important for maintaining a small number of top-tier customers, offering an upgrade option to business-class travellers who might be willing to splurge and trying to find new customers among the increasing number of people who fly private. Premium seats are significantly more profitable per square foot than economy seats, according to past airline reports, and carriers can charge significantly more for business and first-class seats. Many airlines would prefer to replace economy seats with higher class seating. The question is, how much can they upsell people, and how much to deprioritise the economy section to make room for those larger seats? Air France is billing its new 38 square foot La Première cabins with 5 windows each as the longest first class on the market, though some competitors offer more space overall. Some Emirates first class cabins are 40 square feet, which is smaller than many Singapore Airlines cabins, which are 50 square feet. Let alone Etihad's 125 square foot residence.
We have people that are flying because they don't like the optics of a private jet. And then we have some people now that like the product so much that, they actually buy 4 seats just for one person because they want to have that full privacy, and they find it better than actually taking a private jet.
Airlines just have to figure out how many customers actually exist for these seats. Economy passengers can often go round trip from New York to Paris for less than $1,000. It's one thing to upsell them to premium for a $2,000 round trip, but another to get them to pay at least $11,000, often much more, for a trip that's only 7.5 hours each way. While some airlines like Emirates have built their reputations around first-class travel and carry thousands of first-class passengers a day, other traditional airlines can't count on that level of high-spending traffic. So many airlines only put first-class cabins on specific routes. For instance, on Air France flights to the Caribbean, it uses a layout like this, which has 472 seats. For the same planes that go between New York and Paris, it often chooses this layout, with only 312 seats, 160 less, to make room for more premium cabins. For some traditional airlines, the changes are a correction to years of trying to compete with budget carriers like Spirit and EasyJet.
The airline business is pretty ruthless. It's a very competitive market. Margins are kind of famously thin.
The global aviation industry has about $900 billion in annual expenses, largely fuel, labour, equipment, and various overhead costs. Most of these are borne by traditional airlines that have larger staffs and more complex logistics. Meanwhile, the industry saw net profits last year of just about $32 billion, or about $7 per passenger. To stay in the black, full-service carriers have had to trim amenities and streamline operations. Now, some are trying to shift strategies, to cut their economy sections and focus on passengers willing to pay more. For Air France, that meant flying smaller planes that it didn't have to fill with so many passengers, which also meant it could fly more people directly to their final destinations, rather than make everyone connect through Paris.
We have gradually been reducing the average size of our long-haul fleet, not necessarily to make up for bigger premium cabins, but to lower the dependency on connecting and lower price travel.
But it's unclear if the strategy to go premium will pay off in the long run. First off, it's expensive. Air France is spending about $1.1 billion per year to renew its fleet, and the new planes it's buying, like the Airbus A350, have list prices of more than $300 million each. And then there are the soft amenities. Airlines are ordering more caviar and champagne, hiring Michelin chefs to design their menus, and teaming up with luxury designers to make custom in-flight pyjamas. The renovations are also taking a long time to execute, which means companies are betting large sums and spending years pursuing strategies that could backfire.
So we made the strategic decision to invest in a new La Première 6 years ago. Then it was designing the seat, finding the suppliers, developing the seat, and then it was certifying. So certifying took a long time because it's not just certifying the whole seat. There's fire testing, there's making sure it's not too heavy, not too light, durability testing. So that part took about 3.5 years.
This means that companies have to set priorities far in advance, and then hope they've correctly predicted where the market is headed.
You've got a bunch of airlines all coming out of the pandemic, all wanting to invest in brand new seats to differentiate their offerings. And that's part of what we're seeing in terms of the delays, is it just takes a lot of time to get through the bureaucracy, essentially, of getting these seats ready and fitted and safety approved.
But for some companies, there are few alternatives, and the risk is worth the investment. And based on Air France's current data, high-revenue air travellers aren't downgrading anytime soon.
Travel is one of the first things to be affected when prices go up, or there's uncertainty, or there's instability in parts of the world. What we're seeing though is luxury travel seems to be very resilient. We don't see this as, okay, we're going to reevaluate this every few years. This is a product we believe will stay part of our offering, for the long term.
It's a really interesting time because we're starting to see cracks in the global economy, and it's not quite clear whether this hyper expensive luxury travel that they're kind of betting on is really going to last.